Aemma Arryn was the fifth-born child of Lord Roderick Arryn and his only child with his second wife, Princess Daela Targaryen, who was the eighth-born daughter of the old King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne. Her mother was always a small child, who in turn grew into a small adult. Daela was considered sweet, kind, gentle, and with a tender heart. However, she was also a delicate and shy tongue-tied girl who was easily frightened and quick to cry. She liked flowers, but was afraid of gardens, bees and cats. Daela gave birth to Aemma in 82 AC in the Eyrie. Her labour was long, fraught with problems. It was said the princess smiled when she was finally handed the baby Aemma for the first time, but everything was far from fine. Childbed fever soon set in after birth. Though Princess Daela desperately wished to nurse Aemma, she had no milk, and the wet nurse was sent for. As her fever rose, the maesters decreed that she might not even hold the baby, which set the princess to weeping. She wept until she fell asleep, but in her sleep she kicked wildly and tossed and turned, her fever rising ever higher. By the morning she was dead, only 18 years of age. Aemma would marry Prince Viserys Targaryen, her cousin, in 93 AC, at the age of 11. However, the marriage was not consummated until 97 AC. Upon the death of her grandfather, King Jaehaerys, and the ruling of the Great Council of 101 AC, Aemma would become Queen Consort to Viserys, who had been chosen as heir to the Iron Throne. In accordance with the wishes of the old King Jaehaerys and the decision of the Great Council of 101 AC, Viserys succeeded his grandfather after his death in 103 AC, mounting the Iron Throne as King Viserys Targaryen. At the time of his ascent, King Viserys was 26 years old. Aemma was 20. The new queen had suffered several miscarriages over the years, and the death of one son in the cradle. This led to some maesters feeling that she had married and bedded too young. However, she had also given birth to a healthy daughter, Rhaenyra, who was born in 97 AC. The new king and his queen both doted on the girl, being their only living child. As time passed, and still no son was born to King Viserys, King Viserys would only say that he was certain the queen would soon present him with a baby boy, and in 105 AC, he announced to the court and the small council that Queen Aemma was once again with child, but the king would not have his son. Late in the year 105 AC, Queen Aemma was brought to bed in Maegor's Holdfast. After a long and troubled labour, Aemma Arryn would die, giving birth to the son that King Viserys had desired for so long. The boy was named Balon, after the king's father, but he only survived his mother by a day, leaving King Viserys and the court bereft, save perhaps for Prince Daemon Targaryen, the king's brother, who was his de facto heir. Daemon was observed in a brothel street of Silk, making japes with his highborn cronies about the heir for a day in reference to Balon. Due to the nature of Fire and Blood being written as a history book, it was a given that House of the Dragon would have to build upon the framework the book gave it. The death of Aemma Arryn and her character is a perfect example of this. In reality, we knew very little of her character and the kind of person she was. Taking a few vague sentences from Fire and Blood, the showrunners not only brought Aemma Arryn to life, but in her death, which is barely a few sentences in the book, they created a harrowing and difficult scene to watch, but a scene which I think is going to be vital in the characterization of Viserys, and is vital for his development. It's safe to say that looking at reviews and the fan response to the death of Aemma Arryn, well, it certainly left its mark. If you like the scene or dislike it for its needless gore or brutality, one thing is for sure: Aemma Arryn's death has proved to be a defining character moment for Viserys, and is performed very well by all involved. This is why I like House of the Dragon. It takes these vague and small moments with characters we know little about, and turns them into great TV.